Performance League. You join us tonight at the Hungarian, Hungary. A 4.3 kilometre track consisting of 14 turns, certainly a very challenging circuit for both drivers and car alike. As always, with me is Malk. Good evening, Malk. Are you looking forward to the? Are you looking forward to the new season?
I am indeed. I can't wait. I cannot wait to start the new season of Performance League. I reckon there's going to be a few shocks tonight. Not tonight, sorry, but like the whole season of it. What are you looking forward to the most of this season?
Unpredictability.
Oh, okay.
Definitely unpredictability. I mean, for some reason I'm in a car. Brilliant.
Yeah.
So what I'll do is, Malk, if you can quickly send me another invite, I will leave and rejoin, and hopefully be a spectator. I did actually choose a spectator option, and I definitely didn't select a car. But yeah, just to go back to your previous question, Mark, the unpredictability of the Performance League, certainly being the quickest doesn't guarantee being the championship winner. As we saw last season with Delange, he certainly wasn't the quickest driver on track, and he was hindered quite often in the Sauber, certainly at tracks like Monza. So it's just about being consistent, maximising the points where you can, and it was certainly unpredictable last season, so please, more of the same this season.
Yes, hopefully it'll be more expectations. I mean, what are you expecting, like, of, what's the word I'm after? Will you expect the three in a beds situation?
I certainly think you can't rule that out. Definitely with Performance League, as I see that you've left also.
Yeah, I've come off and returned because I forgot that. There, we do apologise, guys.
It is pre-season.
We're trying out new things at the same time. But as we were saying, with the teams coming up, I think there's going to be a few shocks as well. I think tonight.
Yeah, certainly this season, having the teams involved because we've got the numbers certainly adds a new dynamic to it. So we could actually see guys in different cars helping each other out against what would be deemed as their constructor teammates, although not actual teammates.
No, but that's true. But it'll be very interesting to see how these guys can put their wits. Is that the words to say? Like, put their might to be the best performance driver in the league.
Yeah,
we've got yellow in sector 1. Sorry. I feel sorry for Spud because the last 2 seasons he got second, and to me he's been the most. With the stats wise, he's more consistent and more points that he's got in performance since the actual Performance League of Invictus started, which is very surprising because Mike is really close as well. But fair play to Delange, because it was more. It doesn't matter how many wins, it doesn't matter what you do on the track, it's more consistent, if that's the right words to say. But
yeah, definitely, it's definitely consistency and maximising any points that you can. So when you've been given a quick car, you have to do your almighty best to get maximum points. But what impressed me about Delange last season was that he still scored points in the Sauber, which was a mighty task, especially at tracks like Monza.
Yes, definitely. But it'll be very interesting to see if he can retain the title, which no one has. It's always been.
Yeah, certainly nobody has actually succeeded in getting back-to-back titles. So it'll be interesting to see if Delange can pull off that feat for the first time. And just as we were speaking about Spud earlier on, Malk, he did set the quickest time, but now Nicky has set an impressive time of a 1:18.7. Although this is the Performance League tonight, we are running equal cars, and this is to need to support our administrators to allocate the cars appropriately for the first race in Spain.
Yes, we had to make sure that the admins, to make sure everything's all cushy, it's the old Del Boy old words, shall we say, to make sure that we always get closest battles, but also closest times from everyone. So we don't want to give someone like a faster car and they just shot off out of nowhere. You know what I mean? It's not saying it's not good racing, but we love the action, the battles. Like from someone from 11th could win it, you know, and some people nearly did at one point, haven't they? Like start from the back, work their way up. But it just depends on how they can capitalise on it as well. Don't get me wrong. I mean, these guys, most of them. I mean, we've got some newcomers this season as well.
Yeah, one of the new drivers, Nick L.J. Thompson, is actually sitting fourth at the moment, a 1:19.3, but at the front at the moment is Cod Tactics in the Sauber on a 1:18.7. So very impressive provisional pole time from Cod Tactics, closely followed by Nicky, with Rick in the Force India on a 1:19.3, just waiting to go back into the garage.
Cool. So you always say this every time, Craig. Oh, Cod Tactics nearly lost it in the pit entry then. I tell you what, who's your top three at the minute? So for this race, I know this is only pre-season and it's only
for this race
at the minute. Yeah, just for this race.
Certainly looking at Cod Tactics' time, yeah, you certainly can't rule him out for actually finishing on the podium. But we do know that Rick and Delange are both quick drivers, as is Nicky. So yeah. I think I will go for a win from Nicky tonight, with Rick in second and Cod Tactics in third.
Oh, okay. To be fair, Nicky is a really good driver. He did well yesterday in the no, and you have as well, and Mike as well for no assists yesterday. Because people may think, oh, no assists is easy. What's worse that could happen? To finish the race is like a massive achievement, and you guys have, you know, you, Craig, Mike, fantastic to actually finish. But I mean, Nicky's been doing no assist stuff as well, so I don't know whether that was a no assist time. If it is, fair play, because that is a really good time around here as well. If it's not, that could be good. Well, I might talk gibberish now, but it's just, you know, it's. I would love to see Nicky do well this season. I don't know about you, Craig, but I think Nicky will be the one to watch as well. Don't get me wrong.
Yeah, it was very impressive yesterday in the No Assist League, and definitely a very impressive time again tonight on Eco Performance. So certainly, I think Nicky's a driver to watch in No Assist League, Performance League, and the F1 League. So yeah. he's certainly he's certainly committed to Invictus. I think he's actually involved in the most involved member that we currently have. But I certainly think he's one to watch this season. Certainly a championship contender in all three leagues.
Yes, possibly, because I think he will do well. We've got. Don't forget, I know there's only about 10 drivers tonight, because me and Craig somehow we got into the drivers meant to be in the commentary box tonight. But
as Spud reminded you,
Delange, damn! Oh my God! This is why we love F1, Craig. This is why we love F1, because we don't know what time, and we're gonna have some shock. My throat's gonna kill me after doing this.
Well,
Oh, God.
what is also a very interesting development on those times tonight, Delange and Cott and Nicky are actually going to be competing against each other in the F1 League tomorrow. So this is actually an equal performance. So this is staking a little claim not only for tonight but also tomorrow night as well. So the mind games are actually in operation very early in the season. And Delange has certainly thrown down the gauntlet with a 4-10 gap over championship rival Core Tactics.
Yeah, it'll be very. Yeah, it'd be a lot more of a practice, isn't it, as well?
It is. I mean, it gives the Performance League admins a bit of insight to know who's quick, who maybe needs a little bit of a leg up with a quicker car once we go to realistic performance. But certainly this is a free practice for tomorrow night as well as staking an early claim for the Performance Championship as well.
Yes, definitely. Be very interesting to see how these guys can, capitalise on it.
Just following Delange, just coming through the final corner. I do believe he's on a hot lap. Nicky's actually moved up to second with a 1:18.6. His Core Tactics doesn't improve on a 1:18.7. I wonder if he'll go again. I wonder if he's possibly fueled up for the 2 laps. He can actually do 2 hot laps back to back. It looks as if he's certainly still pushing. He's still pushing at the moment.
He could, but this track is proper tired egg, and I know all tracks are, but this one's worse with tired egg, especially in the dry with Hungary, because it's like China. I don't know about you, but the tyre wear around here, if you can't manage it around here, you're struggling like mad. Because I think, is it the super softs 12 laps? Possibly 12 laps?
I think you can stretch them to 10 or 11, but certainly the one-stop strategy is possible, as we saw last night from an impressive display from Speed Queen, who managed a super soft strategy and actually finished second in the no assist league. So the one-stop strategy is possible, but I think the safer one-stop strategy is super soft medium. Looks as if Core Tactics has possibly ran out of fuel as he was just coming up to the final corner. Heartbreak there, because I do think he was on a flyer.
Yeah, I'm just watching Mike now. Rossi, I think, has retired because he'd gone off the track. I think he just messed up in the last corner. But Mike's going through the S's now.
It looked as if Rick had just retired in the garage as well, so I think he was happy. Well, he was happy with fourth, but Nick Thompson is just taking fourth from him with a 1:18.9 in the Renault. So 2/10 off the pace of Core Tactics, as it looks as if there's a McLaren retired at the side of the track. I'm not sure who that is. I think you might mention that was Rossi.
Yeah.
Yeah, wouldn't be wanting to do that once the season starts, but I'm just right on board at the moment with Nitro in the Haas, currently down in 8th, 1:19.9. Core Tactics now retires from session. There's yellow flags in sector 1. His Nitro runs wide just at the exit of the penultimate corner, and he's backed out of it and entered into the pits.
As you was watching Nitro there, Mike did a brilliant lap of a 1:18.9 and moved him up to 5th, which has dropped Rick down to 6th.
Oh, Nicky!
Oh my God! Jesus Christ! Jesus Christ! I am sorry. I'm losing my voice. Oh my God! Oh my God! I'm sorry. This is why I love F1.
Oh, Nicky. Game on from Nicky. A 200th of a second between himself and Delange. Yeah, game on tonight and game on tomorrow. So Delange lost out on the clean side of the track, and he could come under threat from Core Tactics, who starts in 3rd, but more importantly on the clean side. And Nicky, what a spectacular final moment seizure of pole position.
Oh my God.
and a spectacular lap time of 1:18.3. So I think, although we've only got 10 runners tonight, Malk, I think we're in for a bit of fireworks at the front, maybe?
Yeah, I'm hoping for the best on here. And are we going straight into it, I wonder? Or...
Not sure. We'll have to wait and see what happens.
But I just want to say, Craig, I do apologise for the shout. I'm sorry, guys. When you watch F1 and you see someone out of nowhere, this is intense stuff. Basically, this is absolutely intense. And the way that, if you did that, Craig, and I was commentating, I'll be gone. I'll be like, oh! I'll be like Michael Owen going around the circle when Barcelona scored that fifth goal.
Well, what I find very interesting, Malk, is Spud is the only person to really do something different with strategy out inside the top 10. Narayan does start on the soft tyre, it looks like, but he will have a free tyre choice. And it looks as if we're actually starting the formation lap, so we've left the formation lap on for this evening as Nicky in the Force India gets us underway, followed by Delange and Co-Tactics of the Sauber. So the front three seem to get off a little bit sharply, with the midfield a bit slower to react.
Yeah. If you were Spud's position now, Craig, and the Lions, do you think that's a good move? As in, because the super softs, they get ripped up quite easily around here.
Yeah, they do tend to shred, especially when you've been qualifying on them. Yeah, I think the soft is certainly a more durable tyre, but I don't think there's that much variance between the super soft and the soft in Hungary, especially with it being a short lap. And Spud could try something different, as he was disqualified from the formation lap. Looks like he's made contact with Rick on the formation lap there, but Sir Spud could push the softs long and then go for the super softs late on in the race, hoping that the drivers round about him would go for the super soft medium strategy.
Yeah, hopefully that'll be, hopefully there'll be some good action going on. But I think there will be, because especially with Nicky, Delange and Core Tactics, I think they're the three to watch out for. But
yeah, it's certainly going to be tasty, but I think we'll have an interesting battle between Nick and Mike, and Rick will want to get down the track pretty quickly as well. We do know that he is suffering from the cold, so I don't think he'll be as prominent tonight as what he normally is. But certainly we could see an interesting battle with the front three and the middle three. But let's not rule out Notorious LIP, who's actually the championship winner last season. I think Delange... No, sorry, again, I'm mixing up. Notorious won F2, didn't he? So we do have a championship winner on track in Notorious. As we get underway...
Go.
And it looks as if Delange is cover off the middle. It looks as if Contact is coming through the centre. Nicky stays on the racing line, taking the wider entry into turn one. He gets squeezed slightly by the Sauber, and that allows Delange and the McLaren to come through and claim first place. But Contact isn't backing out. He's going on the inside. He's putting Delange under pressure. Nicky drops to Nick moves up to third with Mike in fourth. Nicky's dropped down to fifth.
Oh no. Nitro's gone off the track there, same with Ryan as well, but this is very, very intense stuff from the start. I'll tell you what, this is absolutely intense. Delange is holding on with the first place, Core Tactics in second, Nicky's dropped to the fifth! I don't know what happened there.
It looks like one of the Ferraris was going wheel to wheel with the Force India through the chicane and actually had to back out of it and go across.
I don't know, but
there's...
No!
There's contact between Mike and Nicky. I think Nicky's lost out there, and he was actually pushed a bit wide.
Yeah.
But Mike is all over the back of the McLaren of Rossi.
Delange has got the fastest lap of 125.8, but just watching it now, Rick's right behind Mike, but is it? No, he's slowed down.
Nicky has a little look on the inside, or was that? It was actually Rick. Rick had a little look on the inside going into turn 1.
Yeah, I think what's happened was, Craig, I just watched it from Mike's point of view, from the back of the car. Rick must have caught Mike, and he lost a bit of his front wing.
Oh, there's a super goes wide in the back. In fact, apologies, a Toro Rosso. I think that was Narayan. Narayan went well wide. It looked as if he was losing the back end, but manages to recover it back on track. So a hair-raising moment for Narayan early on in the race in that Toro Rosso. Currently sitting behind both Force Indies.
I think the Nitro Gas has pitted, I think. Oh no, he hasn't, he's dropped right back. I don't know what happened with Nitro there.
I'm not sure. Possibly had a little bit of an off.
Just watching Nicky now. He's going in the second lap. He's dropped from first to 7th. Delange's got the fastest lap of 121.9. That's a really good lap.
I can't see any front wing damage from Nicky, so I think he was maybe just involved in a few incidents with other drivers. He certainly was pushed wide at the beginning of the race with Core Tactics in the middle of a sandwich with him and Delange.
Yeah. Just watching. Might go and watch the Core Tactics battle with Delange in a bit, but I don't want to move because Nicky, Narayan, Spud all linked together from 7th onwards to try and battle out with Rick. He's never going to give up on this.
Nicky is all over the back of the fellow Force India of Rick.
It looks like he was going to look for it then.
But Narayan in the Toro Rosso is just, I don't know, I think it's a bit too early to risk it all. Certainly for a biscuit. But Narayan is just waiting in the background looking to pounce on any mistake from Nicky or Rick. Oh, as Rick looks as if he went a little wide on the exit, allows Nicky to come in the inside, looks on the brakes, but he gets the move done.
What a move!
He gets the move done under braking, so very impressive from Nicky at the start of the race, looking to come back up to claim that first place that he started from earlier on.
Yeah, Rick's pitted, but Rossi.
Oh, Rossi on the back of Nicky. It goes into the inside. Nicky's not going to fight too hard. It allows Rossi to come in.
No. Oh, what a move! That's a brilliant move from Rossi. But can Nicky? No.
It doesn't look as if Nick's going to give up in the Renault. He's trying to come back at Rossi, but I think Rossi's just a little too far ahead.
Oh my God, what a move!
So certainly a lot of excitement at the start of the race. As Notorious is closing in the Ferrari of Spud as well, but he just can't get by him.
Between the top two at the minute, Craig, there was a second of difference. Delange is doing well tonight. He's set the marker on to try and get away from Core Tactics. But
he's trying to break the DRS, and he has at the moment. He's got a 1.0 second gap, but it is fluctuating between that and 9/10, so he can't shake him enough. So Core Tactics certainly still a threat to Delange early in the race.
Yeah, definitely. Core Tactics has done a fastest lap of 121.7.
And it looks as if he's got DRS coming into turn 1. He will get a second shot of it going into turn 2, but the length into turn 2 is a little bit shorter on the home straight. He might get a bit closer, but I don't think he'll get close enough. So Core Tactics is certainly going to have to make it up in sector 2 and 3 to try and get a move done in sector 1 going into turn 1 with DRS.
Mike's closing in on Nick LJ Thompson in the Ferrari, trying to catch up to the Renault car. Can I have your honest opinion, Craig, on the second DRS on Hungary? Do you think that's a useless DRS?
Yes.
Straight?
Yes, it is.
There's the straight answer from that one, ladies and gentlemen. I didn't expect that quick. I was expecting more debate, but straight up quick.
I think it's only useful if you're actually going into turn 1 wheel to wheel, and it gets you a better run into turn 2. But if you're actually behind a driver coming out of turn 1, and I don't, maybe get you a bit closer, but I don't think it's close enough to affect a pass.
Yeah, I am sorry to interrupt there, Craig. We might have the first 2 in a bed / 3 in a bed.
We might get the first 3 in a bed, looking at Nick, Mike, and Nicky.
Yeah, perfect. Come on, please, we need it. I'm sorry, Craig, I didn't mean to shout that too much, but come on. Nicky looked at it then.
Doesn't look as if the Ferrari or Mike's get the straight line speed in comparison to Nick and the Renault.
I think he's got more the corner aero.
Yeah, I think Mike's running higher downforce, which is almost neutralising the DRS. So Mike might have went for a setup that is OP in sector 2 and 3, but it runs wide slightly. Allows Nicky come in. Will Nicky make a dive into the chicane? Mike losing the back end, allows Nicky to come through. That's also allowing the Ryan to come through. Mike just lost it under traction. Now comes under pressure from Sir Spud and the fellow Ferrari. In fact, Spud actually went past Mike also. So Mike had actually lost 3 places with that loss of traction, and could now lose 4 from pressure from Notorious.
Yeah, but Spud's closing in on the Ryan. I hope you're alright there, Craig.
Just a slight cough. So F2 could be fighting F1 at the moment. Sir Spud all over the back of Narayan.
Yeah, we were just watching Spud catching up to Narayan, but we might see the battle of Mike and Notorious.
Well, I'm going to sit with Notorious. He's at the back of this just to get a little viewpoint of what's going on ahead. Mike runs a little wide, Notorious a bit tighter to the apex, but Mike has him covered off.
Oh my god, this is intense. Unbelievable. I tell you what, Craig, I think we're glad we're streaming tonight, because this is
I wish I was racing.
Yeah, same now. But to be honest, Craig, this is just absolutely fantastic. It's brilliant drive.
It's certainly spectacular, and it's setting up the season and the Performance League perfectly.
Yeah.
As Rick sets it. Sorry, Malk, on you go, mate.
Rick's done a fastest lap of 121.6.
Spud runs wide. Mike's backed out of it. He's played safe. I thought Mike was going to go for it, but certainly a lot of respect from Sir Spud and Mike on track. Neither of them taking too many risks, but that's allowing Notorious and the Mercedes to close right up on the pair of the Ferraris. Could we see the 3 in a bed now, Mal, with the 2 Ferraris and the Mercedes and Notorious?
Please, come on! We might have the 2, at least. 2 in a bed! There we go!
The Ferraris are wheel to wheel going into turn 1. Notorious thinks better of it, but he's having a slight look, and inside there's contact with the Ferrari.
Oh my god!
Notorious goes on the grass. He's struggling for pace. That's just allowed Sir Spud to keep it on ahead, but Sir Spud runs wide. That allows Notorious to come back at him.
Nicky's closing in on Nick. No, this is going to be confusing. Nicky is closing in on LJ. Now, that's better now. Here we go.
Whatever you've got to do.
Yeah, we've got to make sure we don't get confusing ourselves. Nick on that one. Nick, sorry, Nick has gone wide. I can't fucking say it. Oh, sorry. I apologise.
You're getting far too excited there, Mal, but I get what you're saying. Nick ran wide there, that allowed Force India and Nicky to come right in there, but Nick managed to recover it and stay ahead of Nicky. Nick runs wide again, struggling with front end grip at the moment. But Nicky's close enough, and he could affect a pass with DRS going into turn 1. Nick moves to the inside, goes slightly defensive. That forces Nicky to the outside. Nicky's going to have to go round the outside. Turn 1, slight lock up. Nick covers inside.
Nick's LJ's holding on, but can.
But Narayan's closely falling behind. Look at the pouncing, any mistake from Nicky or Nick. So Narayan's closed right up behind these guys as they've been battling on track. Core Tactics has got the gap down to 6/10 as we come through sector 2. Oh, Narayan is all over the gearbox of the Force India. Nicky,
he looked then, before the chicane part. I did say I do apologise if I'm interrupting you there, Craig, at any point during the stream.
Not at all.
We are trying our hardest, guys. We're not the professionals of broadcasting, but we are.
Oh, Nicky's lost it!
Oh, it's dropped! It's dropped! Oh my God!
Yeah, Nicky dropped the back tyre on the grass and almost caused a spin, but well done for the recovery, Nicky.
Yeah. Delange's pitted in on second now.
I'm just going to quickly stay with him to see what tyres he goes for. It goes for the soft. So that looks to be a two-stop strategy from Delange. If Core Tactics has got fresh air, if he just keeps looking after the super softs, he could pull a one-stop strategy, either opting for the soft tyre or the medium.
Hopefully.
So it looks as if Delange just came back out on 8th on the soft tyre. Nick Thompson also out on 9th in the soft tyre, as Nitro now comes into the pits from 10th.
Okay, if you, in your honest opinion, do you think the two stops the safest bet, or do you think the one stop?
There's actually not too much of a difference between the one stop and the two stop strategy. I think it really comes down to traffic.
Yeah, you have to get it spot on, don't you, on this tonight? But
I think so, and because of the high downforce in sector 2, running the medium tyre through sector 2 certainly slows you down.
Quite a lot.
Yeah, certainly you won't be able to attack the corners as much as you could on super soft or soft. So although it might work out in the long term, you are leaving yourself open to danger from other drivers.
Yeah. We might have two situations here, Craig. We've got Nicky in 4th, closing in on Narayan.
Well, I'm just sticking with Delange at the moment. He is fighting for the race win, currently being held up by Notorious in the Mercedes. He pulls on the inside, has DRS. It does get the move done before turn 1, but can he get the car turned in and powered down before Notorious makes a comeback? Delange does get the DRS again.
Oh, Spud. I don't know which. Yeah, Spud's lost it.
I think he's still got his front wing. I hope there's not too much damage. I think there's damage to the front right. Yeah, it's the right hand side of the front wing. It looks as if he's certainly lost his end plate.
I don't know what happened there, Craig, but it's a bit of a shock from Spud. Hopefully he'll carry on in the race. But Nicky...
Oh, Notorious runs wide coming out the chicane. He's actually fighting the car to stay on track. Sorry, Mark, you're about to say something about Nicky.
Yeah, I was saying Nicky's closing in on Ryan on the last few corners, and Nicky's doing really well, to be fair.
He's certainly doing well after that initial downfall down the grid. So he's certainly coming back fighting. He's currently in 4th, looking to pass for 3rd as Rossi drops down while he's in the pits. Rossi now opts for the soft tyre.
Yeah.
So Core Tactics still in the lead at the moment as we start lap 12. He is on the super soft tyre, followed by Narayan, who started from 11th. And he is on the soft tyre. So Narayan possibly looking to the one-stop strategy and going long in this race. Nicky still to stop, sitting on 3rd in the super soft tyre, with Mike in 4th on the super soft tyre, also yet to stop.
Yeah, definitely. Sorry, I've just...
Well, Nicky all over the back of the Ryan coming through sector 2. But Nicky's tyres could be screaming at this point of the race. He should be going for a pit stop soon.
Yeah, should be.
So all Narayan has to do is keep Nicky behind him for maybe 1 or 2 laps more, and then he'll get fresh air, and Narayan will want to get on with the job at hand. Rick receives a 3-second penalty from the race stewards for multiple warnings of corner cutting. I think Mike's actually just been overtaken by Delange. He's certainly dropping back. Mike's still to pit, of course. As Quad Tactics comes out the pits in 5th, and that's a soft tyre. I doubt he'll get them to last 22 laps, so that could be a 2-stop strategy. As Notorious comes out on the medium, so that is the 1-stop strategy.
Yes.
As the battle at the front still continues there, Mark, between Narayan and Nicky, the gap 0.4 of a second.
Definitely.
So I'm just quite looking at the interval times of the drivers. 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 17. So Nicky, if he pits, could come out slightly ahead of Notorious. But I think Nicky, because of the initial start, he's pushing these super softs long. And I think Nicky will resort to the 1-stop strategy, especially after seeing how Speed Queen pulled that off last night.
Yes, to be fair, Speed Queen is the master of, 1-stops and lasting. Oh, saying that, Nicky has pitted. I'm just going to watch him now to see what tyres he's going to go on. Hopefully the glitch.
Rossi has closed down in Quad Tactics, and there's a gap of 1.3 seconds. So very impressive from Rossi, who had actually started quite far back initially. I think he started from 10th. So he's done well to get up to 5th, and certainly a challenger for the race win, as is Quad Tactics and Delange.
Yes, definitely.
So Nicky does go the soft tyre then, Malk. So that could be a 1-stop strategy if he looks after the soft tyre.
22 laps?
It's certainly a challenge.
22 laps on softs. To be fair, yesterday I did manage to do 24 laps on the mediums yesterday. So I wouldn't be surprised if he did 20 to 22 laps. Depending on how he can do on the tyres that he's got. But we might have some battle going on because Core Tactics Rossi are closing in on Mike from 3rd. Just watching now.
So we have appreciated a little lull in the race that allows us to get our breath back, but we're jumping right into the deep end as Mike pits. That'll be his first pit stop. So the battle is on between Core Tactics and Rossi for currently 3rd position. It looks as if Rossi does have DRS, but I think Core Tactics is too far ahead at the moment. But Core Tactics will have DRS, as we saw a little slight lag there.
Yeah, I just saw a little bit of a lag.
Oh, Core Tactics has made a mistake somewhere, and he's actually went off at turn 1.
Yeah, that's a bit of a shock. Core Tactics, hey?
Oh no, serious lag here.
We do apologise, ladies and gentlemen. We might see at the minute Core Tactics and Rossi a bit of a lag, so we don't. On our interval screens, it looks like Rossi's closing in on Core Tactics, but we don't know.
Yeah, I stayed on board with Core Tactics briefly, and it looked as if he'd stopped in the middle of the track at turn 1, and then all of a sudden we jumped still ahead of Rossi going into turn 3. So a momentary lag there. Hopefully we don't see any more of it in the race.
But we might have a good battle here going on, Craig. We've got Narayan, we've got Nicky, Nino, and we've got LJ battling out for the top for 4th place coming up. So this is going to be very interesting to see how these guys can handle the pressure. Can Narayan in the pit? He was recently in the pits. He might do.
Well, it is an advantage Narayan with the super soft tyre as he goes to the inside. So DRS and inside line makes that move pretty straightforward for Narayan. but Nick could come under pressure from Nicky again, probably for the second or third time in the race. Nick, I think, will be getting sick fed up with the Force India behind him.
Yeah, pretty much. To be fair, Craig, it has been one fantastic race.
It has.
Pre-season.
Normal service does resume as the Lange and Tactics retake the front of the row, and certainly continue their battle, followed by Rossi, who's been very impressive, starting at the back of the grid, now fighting for a chance of the win, with Narayan on the super soft tyre, the quicker strategy. Oh, Narayan moves up to third.
Yeah, because Rossi has dropped. But oh my God, Nicky!
What has happened with Rossi? He was sitting in third for a second there, and he looked pretty secure. I don't know if he's maybe had a moment coming through sector 2, but he's dropped down to 6th.
We'll find out if he goes back into the pits. But we watch it. Yeah,
he is. Yeah, he's got front wing damage on the left hand side. So there's certainly been an incident. I don't know if he maybe made contact with Tactics, or maybe just lost it in a corner and hit a barrier or a wall slightly. We don't know. Hopefully we'll be updated after the race as the battle for fourth continues between Nick and Nicky as we come through sector 2 of turn 3 and 4.
Yeah. I'll tell you what, Craig. We're not even halfway. Yeah, nearly. And we need more. What
I'm concerned about is that it's the first pre-season race. We've only got 10 people coming to attend tonight's race, half the grid. I'm concerned how we're going to keep up with this. We might need 3 commentators. But it's certainly giving us a lot to look forward to. As Nick made a mistake, that allows Nicky to come round it outside. A slight lock-up gives Nick room on the inside. Nick will retake the place, but Narayan will have the inside. Nicky will have the inside line for the next penultimate corner. Oh, Nicky probably will wait for DRS. Nick just needs to cover him off. Probably use rich fuel, and hopefully stay ahead into turn 1. So a spectacular battle between Nick and Nicky.
Here we go. 2 in the bed. Oh! He's done it. Oh! Jesus Christ, this is intense.
Yeah, certainly not a lot of room for error there. So spectacular racing from our new member Nick and championship hopeful Nicky as we get yellow flags in sector 2.
I can't move at the minute because I want to see if LJ can beat Nicky. I do apologise, Nick, but that's the only way I can briefly say with Nicky to Nick. But yeah, sorry, I'll say that again. What do you think of Nick LJ's performance?
I'm thinking I've put him in the wrong league. No, certainly very impressive from Nick tonight. He showed that he's a very clean and respectful racer, but he's also got pace as well. So very impressive display from Nick. And from my understanding, he was in a bit of a rush to make tonight's race. He was home a bit late tonight, so he's definitely settled into this race very well, and he's certainly giving Nicky a run for his money.
Definitely. As we say, because Rossi, who I expected him to do well as well in the league coming up. Don't get me wrong. There's about how many drivers would you reckon would be going for the title this season? Nicky just did the drift. That was a great recovery from him. As I was saying, sorry, Craig. How many drivers do you think?
Whoa! Nick's lost it.
Oh my God! I don't know what happened there.
He's still in the race. He's actually made contact just coming at the end of sector 1, I believe, and I think he was lucky enough to hit the wall square on. So he's only lost part of the front wing rather than losing the tyre. So heartbreak for Nick, who was doing so well I think he just lit up the rear tyres as Rossi retires from the session, and that is terminal
Oh!
damage in sector 2.
He must have hit the wall or something, or lost the car.
Yeah,
No way.
I think he's lost the car coming out of sector 1. He's made a collision with the barrier on the right hand side. But I think Rossi might have been running no traction tonight.
Oh, okay. Fair enough.
Because he did have a little moment coming out the exit of the penultimate corner as well, and had a little bit of a slide. So disaster for Nick and Rossi on the same lap there. But we have received one DNF so far as race control awards Sir Spud a 3-second penalty. So a few penalties tonight. It shows that the Hungarian Grand Prix track limits are very much enforced tonight, Mark.
Yes, definitely. I don't know about you, but it's more harsh. Is that the word to say it? More stricter than the other tracks. Because
Yes, I certainly think there's no room for error, and if you seek to gain any advantage, then we are getting warnings and penalties, which we've seen tonight.
Yeah. But don't get me wrong. I mean, don't get me wrong. I'd love it if they sorted out a bit of the tracks and the safety car stuff as well. But the way they've done it, I mean, when you go on the curb, fair enough, you need all four wheels on the track, obviously. But if you go on the curb just slightly, I think which track the first sector when you go past turn 2, 3, where you go down the hill and then up to the second. From the first to the second sector.
Yeah.
That bit, if you go left, that's it. You've been warned straight away.
Yeah, it's the left. I think that might be. I think that's turn 5, the end of sector 1. Yeah, if you certainly cut that, it's very quick to award warnings and penalties. And it is quite a tricky corner. It is, because it's blind, it's quite easy to misjudge as well.
Yeah, definitely. But yeah, as I was saying earlier, with stats-wise, the stats that I'm mentioning throughout the season, it's not been including pre-season stuff. So what we see is, as I said earlier, Spud is the only one. I think it's Spud, Mike. Who else? Nitro, I think. Got it all off, and I think Mike and Spud have got like the most points gathered throughout the 3 seasons.
Yep.
But to be honest, what do you think Spud's and Mike's chances of top 2 again? Or top 3 again, sorry. What's your thinking of that? Or is that too much to ask?
No, I think this season it will be a very big ask for them to replicate that. Certainly because of how challenging this grid is. I think they would do well if they managed to replicate it this season.
Yeah, I mean, us two, we would love to see Spud or Mike or anyone from the league to win it, but I'm just, you feel like disappointed because you just want someone desperately want to win, and then the game messes up twice on yourself. Like if he was winning on the race and then also you got DNF because of disconnection, you're like, you can't do that. You just lost the title because of the DNF or a car loss.
Yeah, I think that is a harsh world of racing though. And it's just part of racing. But at the moment we've got a midway battle between Notorious and Mike, both on the same strategy. Currently fighting 4th, 5th place. Mike currently 9/10 behind Notorious and the Mercedes, going up to the home straight. So we could see a battle between Notorious and Mike in the next few moments.
Stay tuned, guys. Don't go anywhere. We'll see if Mike can put it out of the bag in the nice It's nice. Sorry, I'm having one of them moments on that one.
But what I find interesting, although Notorious is 19 seconds, 25, yeah, I think he's more than a pit stop, but certainly could come into play later on in the race, as Delange, Core Tactics and the Ryan could have to pit again, as well as Nicky, if he isn't able to look after the soft tyre.
Yeah. If you were their positions now, Craig, do you think they would? Obviously, they probably will pit. Do you think they will all go for the super softs?
I think you've got to. Yeah, I think the super softs should get you to the end of the race now. So any pit stops, I imagine, if they haven't already used their compound, it will be for the super soft tyre.
Yeah, definitely. But yeah, I would go for that anyway, because there's about 11 laps?
11 laps. 11 laps.
11 laps, sorry. So yeah, you should easily get into the super softs with 12 laps left, 11 laps left of it, but it is quite intense because you just don't know what to expect, and plus, obviously, as you said earlier, it's going to be very difficult for Mike and Spud to replicate what they did last season, but you never know until the back race sings, and you never know until they put it out of the bag. It's like last season. We did not expect Nitro to pull it out of the bag in qualifying twice out of nowhere.
No, we did not, and he did. He certainly did. But I'm just watching the interval time between Delange and Core Tactics, as Delange does pit, but Core Tactics was gradually catching Delange in the final moments of that last stint.
Do you think he was struggling, Delange?
I don't know if he was maybe burning up the soft tyre. I think Delange is running higher downforce compared to Core Tactics, just going from last night's comments in the practice. So whether either driver has actually amended their setup, we don't know. But it did look as if Core Tactics was catching Delange near the end there. So I don't think this race isn't finished yet.
Oh no, not by a shot and a half on that one. Not with vodka, Red Bull shot type stuff. But yeah, I mean, to be fair, I think Core Tactics impressed me again tonight. I know everyone has, don't get me wrong, but Core Tactics and Delange, if Delange can keep up with like the top three every time, it'll be very, very difficult for anyone else to emulate what he's done, and he'll be the first person ever to retain it, which no one has ever done in the Performance League. And
no, they have not. But I mean, we're certainly a long way to go before we start talking about that. But he's certainly putting himself in a good position, and we've got no idea what the allocations for Spain will be. But on equal.
Sorry.
Yep.
This is why we do the pre-season, so we get spot on this one. Sorry, guys. Sorry, Craig. I'm just saying, if you was the admin, I'm not saying right now. If you was depending on, if say this was the only race that was decided, do you think there'll be a few changes to the cars? As in, do you think? I think Delange, I think Core Tactics will be in the Renault again, in my personal opinion. I think Nicky will probably go on the Nicky, probably either Renault or Toro Rosso, as my opinion, anyway. The Ryan, possibly the Sauber or McLaren. Delange, McLaren. What do you think of that? Do you think?
I don't think it's far off. I don't know about particular cars, but what I would do is just look at who's got similar pace. So obviously we see that Delange and Core Tactics have got similar pace as well as Nicky. So I would allocate them cars that are pretty similar, so that those guys could be battling on track. and then you begin to look at the other drivers as well. So how I used to do it was pair drivers with each other in terms of pace and allocate the drivers the car going from that. Yeah, that's what I used to do.
But don't get me wrong. I mean, us commentators, we do the commentator's curse. We'll find out what's going to happen in the cars afterwards, and hopefully we'll get our own weatherman text messages coming through to say what's going to happen in tonight's. Well, not tonight, but like in the league itself. But don't get me wrong, I am absolutely looking forward to it. Our throats are going to be killed after one race.
Well, I'm just looking at intervals, and it looks as if Mike is almost holding position between himself and Notorious. The gap remains steady around about 1.5 seconds. So it looks as if these guys are pretty similar in pace. So hopefully that battle could last the remainder of the season. But Delange actually pitted from the fronts, came out in third, currently 1.8 seconds behind Nicky. So Nicky could come under fire from Delange pretty soon. As we see a Ferrari going into the pits, but Core Tactics is interestingly stayed out. So he's got 11.3 second gap to Nicky in second. And he seems to be going long. There's 7 laps remaining in the race. Could he look after the softs for the last seven laps? He's got about a 13 second gap to Delange in third.
Yeah,
I think it's possible. So I'll be continually looking at Delange's gap to Nicky, and if he gets a move done, how quickly can he pass or close down Core Tactics with the time remaining?
It's very tough because we just don't know what to expect from this, because I got a feeling Core and Nicky will hold on to the softs. I think they'll probably hold on to the softs till the end.
So Core Tactics at least stays out for another lap. The gap is 1.1 between Nicky and Delange. I think Delange is just close enough for DRS. He's almost within that 1 second. Just stay on board. He doesn't get DRS this lap, but he should have it the next.
This is quite intense at the moment.
It's certainly building up for a spectacular conclusion to this race.
Well, yes, definitely, absolutely fantastic. Don't get me wrong, I missed the commentary, Craig. I missed the bands. I missed the English versus Scottish banter coming up next. That's what I look forward to, guys. That's what I was looking forward to, as well as the racing, obviously. But as we're watching now, Delange is closing right in on Nicky.
But certainly Nicky won't make it easy to pass either.
No, I think he'll be very difficult. Nicky's a quick driver, don't get me wrong, he is a quick driver, but Delange, who's on the most quicker tyre, and
he's on
he
fresh,
pitted,
and they're certainly fresh. They're only a couple of laps old.
So yeah, it'll be very interesting if Nicky can hold on second.
I don't think he'll be able to hold on if Delange gets a good exit here in the final corner and gets DRS. Nicky goes slightly wide and comes back into the apex. But Delange is certainly close enough. He's got DRS. He is close enough to make the pass, but Nicky will not make this easy. Nicky has a little move to the inside, goes defensive. Delange too far back. Nicky slightly locks up, hugs the apex, goes defensive. Delange forced to wait behind going into turn 2. But he's just too far back to make another move past. But this all plays into Core Tactics' hands, who maintains a 10.3 second lead over Nicky.
Yes.
But they do have traffic ahead just coming into sector 2.
I don't know who that is. We'll find out in a bit. But I'm just watching it from Delange's car view, and it looks absolutely beautiful. We do apologise if you're here, and I hope Craig's okay on here.
It's just the last remnants of the cold that I had last week, so
no.
thank you. Oh, Delange closes right up behind the force in there of Nicky. The gap 4/10 of a second. It's all about who can get the best exits of the penultimate and final corner.
Oh no, don't do this.
Nicky
Don't
does
do
get a
this.
better exit coming out of the final corner. Goes defensive in the middle of the track. Delange cuts in to get the slipstream. Has DRS. Nicky still slightly ahead. Delange moves to the outside. Nicky has inside line. Forces Delange to go round outside. Delange goes for the cutback. Moves to the inside of the apex. But Nicky will have the inside line of turn 2.
No, he's
I think Delange has got it done. He's certainly used the better and quicker tyre to great effect. With 4 laps remaining, Caddy closed a 10.1 second gap to Delange ahead. But Nicky's certainly not giving up on this.
No. If you want my honest opinion, it's a very big ask at the minute.
The gap 9.9 seconds, so he's took 2 tenths out of him on a couple of corners. 9.7.
With it,
And it's a Haas.
to get 2 seconds. Yeah.
It's a Haas car. It might be Nitro, I believe it's ahead. As he does make room, he allows Nicky and Delange to pass safely. As Sir Spud retires from the race. Oh, Spud's actually crashed out. His car is actually facing the wrong way on track in sector 2.
I didn't see that, but Nicky's slowing right down now. Nicky would be devastated on that one because I think he would have done at least second there. But Delange needs to get at least a couple of seconds each lap to catch up to core tactics. But it will be very, very intense stuff because quick answer, Craig. Do you think Delange will do it, or do you think it's too much?
I think he'll get close enough to see quad tactics, but I don't think he'll get close enough to make a move.
You don't think?
No.
That's the honest truth. It's a shame because
I think he'll get within 1 second of him.
You reckon 1 second? You reckon 1 second?
We'll go for 2.
You go for 2.
2 second gap. Final answer, 2 second gap.
Okay. Okay, I'm not a betting man. Maybe I am. But I'm not betting on tonight on this one. So, see how it goes. Nicky's dropping right down now on 2 seconds. Delange is under 8 seconds now. Oh, well, was under 8 seconds. So, where's core tactics now? Core tactics is just past the start finishing line. Delange is just coming up to the straights now for the DRS. So
yeah, Delange will be able to see him. He'll be able to see him just going round turn 1, and he does. You can see cord tactics in the distance, just going round turn 1. That will allow Delange to get a bit between his teeth and maybe give him the motivation to push.
You can do it! If you're being cute! Come on! You can do it! Sorry, I'm having a moment there, like last time. But yeah, I think Delange, like you said, Delange will be having a smile on his face when he saw a little glimpse of core tactics now. It's just within 7 seconds. So, 3 laps. Under 7 seconds? It might be 2 seconds, it might be that, Craig.
As that's going on at the front, the gap between the Taurus and Mike in the middle of the grid has actually increased from 1.5 to 2.1. So looks as if Mike's tyres might be going off slightly in comparison to Notorious.
Yeah. Just still, the only closest one is Mike at the minute, so I'll be watching his driving at the minute. But
also Narayan's actually trying to close down Nicky also. So the gap's 5 seconds with us on the penultimate lap. The gap's 6.2 seconds. 6 seconds now.
I reckon 3 seconds. Possibly. I reckon 3 seconds will be the one. Yeah, I reckon 3 seconds will be the one to close in from Delange. There's no way he'll knock off all that seconds just to catch up with the core tactics. be very interesting, but see how it goes. But at the minute, Mike's slowly closing in on Notorious each time. But Rick, don't get me wrong, Rick is slowly catching up to Mike. Slowly, about 10th here, 10th there, a 10th everywhere on this track. But we'll just have to wait and see. We might see a battle going on, but I can't see Narayan catch up to Nicky now. I think Nicky's just going to hold on for third. But yeah, it would be very interesting to see how these guys can capitalise on there. Rick's got a multiple warning penalty again.
Mike's actually got the gap down to 1.8 seconds now.
Delange just dropped down to 4.5, and it's on the last lap. Mike's got a 3-second time penalty there. Rick's closing in.
But we do have a Renault between Delange and Core Tactics. So Delange will be hoping that the Renault gets out the way pretty quickly and doesn't hamper him in any way as we just approach the chicane for Delange's. Core Tactics is already cleared at the gap, 4.1 seconds, 4 seconds dead now.
Oh my god. Oh, this is intense. But I think Core Tactics has done really well to hold on.
He's actually done really well to look after the softs.
I think it was because he didn't get caught up with too much of the traffic or too much battle.
Yeah, had a lot of clean air.
I think that's what's capitalising it.
Yeah. As Core Tactics claims the win for the first pre-season race of the Performance League. Congratulations to Core Tactics, making the one-stop strategy work with Delange in second, and commiserations to Nicky, who takes third from pole position. Narayan claims fourth, with Notorious taking fifth. Mike claims sixth, and Rick takes seventh.
I don't know, because
we're
Rick's
still waiting
on 4/10.
Whoa.
Oh my god, don't do this now. Oh, I think Mike's just got enough.
Yeah, I think he's just got ahead enough. So great racing from the Performance League guys tonight. Looking forward to Canada already. But congratulations again to Core Tactics for claiming the first win of the pre-season. So Malk, if I had to ask you to pick one highlight of the race, which would it be?
That is a tough question. That is tough because there was like all those battles going on. I think it is tough. I think there was the first two in the bed situation where two cars, I can't remember which one it was now, but I think it was a good battle going on. Everyone's had some good battles throughout the whole race. How about you, Craig? My head's
well, just before I answered that, Delange, seriously unlucky. It didn't get a penalty when Core Tactics is a 3-second penalty. The final gap 0.6 of a second. So it was even closer than what we thought. But my highlight of the race was certainly the race start. 3 in a bed into turn 1. Core Tactics in the sandwich. Delange goes inside, manages to take it. Spectacular racing from these guys, and just shows you the high standards of this league. That we went 3 in a bed into turn 1 at the race start and no incidents, no collisions. But I was very impressed with Nicky's recovery from a few incidents where he's lost the back end and managed to recover the car. But great racing tonight from everyone, and looking forward to Canada, but most importantly the fourth season at Invictus.
It is, yes. It feels like we've been here for ages, hasn't it? We're nearly to our first year, hasn't it? Nearly. But don't get me wrong, the guys, we do our job bits, but it's the drivers that make it more. What's the word? More.
They make it,
more
we
better.
show it.
Well, yeah, pretty much, yeah. But it's more like without no issues and other stuff. I think that's how it's like playing football. You play football with good football. You know how to play. Like it's like Barcelona, pass and move. It's like that in the leagues, in the F1s, where you do the driving, no issues. That's it. Let the admins do their work, and that's what's happened. And everyone's doing their job, and everyone is enjoying it. And you know, I just cannot believe how it's excelled.
Well, just before we bring it to a close, thanks for joining us, everyone, and we hope to see you for the Canadian Grand Prix, which is the second pre-season race before we get things started in the fourth season of Invictus. Thanks, everyone, and thanks to Mark for joining us as always, and we'll see you
much, mate.
next week.